What is going on, Proper Squad? Fiddle Crosser here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about a Reddit post I stumbled upon on the Fallout subreddit by user ncr_citizen. So all credit goes to you, my friend. What you wrote here makes a lot of sense, so that's why I'm making a video on it, and that's why I decided to share it with my subscribers. So ncr_citizen titled this post, "Mark my words, the next Fallout game will be in San Francisco." So he's stating that Fallout 5, if it's called Fallout 5, you can assume it is going to be called Fallout 5, right? When it's released, if it's released, let's say around 2020, 2022, he's saying that when Fallout 5 is out, it will be based in San Francisco, and here's why. If you have not noticed a pattern after all this time, Bethesda likes to specifically but briefly tease the location of its next Fallout game only enough to where it was there, but large groups of people will think it's inconsensual and not to be read into too much. This is by design. In Fallout 3, the location teased was the Commonwealth, with the Institute and Railroad being teased factions. All of this is only briefly and not too intensely referenced in the side quest The Replicated Man. And that one side quest and its little backstory alone set the stages for the entirety of Fallout 4 7 years later. In Fallout 4, Bethesda did the exact same thing, and I think many people never thought too much into it or paid little attention, just like many did in Fallout 3. San Francisco and its lore is referenced several times, but mainly in the backstory and memories of Conrad Kellogg. Let's go through all the things related to San Francisco in Fallout 4. Kellogg smokes San Francisco sunlights, and there are boxes of the cigars with the Golden Gate Bridge printed on them in the Commonwealth. Kellogg lived in San Francisco for a time and tried to start a family there. Kellogg worked for the Shi and was later betrayed by them. The Golden Gate Bridge is seen in Kellogg's memory of San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge is seen in the Pip-Boy game Atomic Command. Hubologist cultists are found in Nuka World. The references to San Francisco in Fallout 4, in my opinion, are even stronger than the amount of references to the Commonwealth and the Institute in Fallout 3. It is pretty clear that this is the direction Bethesda is pointing you to the next game. There is no other mention of any other major pre-war city that is extensive as the allusions to San Francisco in Fallout 4. Not Toronto, not Philadelphia, not Chicago, not New York, not anything. San Francisco and its lore is the only city referenced more than really once or twice in the entire game. On top of that, if you read up on San Francisco on the Fallout Wiki, it is pretty easy to summarize what factions are going to be involved and what the conflicts will be in Fallout 5. So after ncr_citizen explained all the references Fallout 4 have to San Francisco, he is now going to talk about what he's going to think is going to happen in Fallout 5, and this is what he wrote. San Francisco is going to be controlled by the Shi, a group of Chinese people living in Chinatown that are descendants of Chinese communists whose nuclear submarine crashed in San Francisco Bay during the Great War. Just as it was in Fallout 2, this group is going to be near cut and paste of the Institute. Like the Institute, they are descendants of pre-war people. Like the Institute, they are very advanced researchers and scientists with a high level of technology. Like the Institute, they are clustered away and only care about themselves and what goes on in Chinatown. Like the Institute, they have been experimenting with pre-war tech like FEV, and have been taking pre-war tech beyond that was available in 2077. Bethesda seems to have a thing of making the bad guy group be technologically advanced and either malevolent towards the wasteland or aloof from it. The Shi fit the latter description, so he's saying that the main faction will be the Shi, and his guess is not far off. If you read the technology level of the Shi, they do have some similarities with the Institute. So this is what the wiki says about the technology level of the Shi. The Shi are one of the most advanced factions in the Waste. They have considerably industrial capability, being able to manufacture high-tech weapons, both to equip the military force and for trade. Perhaps their most awe-inspiring feat is the ability to restore pre-war T-51B power armor to working condition and offer them for sale. The Shi are also very active researchers. They are nearing a breakthrough in the rediscovery of nuclear power and are considering methods of space travel. They have learned to synthesize a new fuel using plant extracts and sea life. Since integrating pre-existing pipelines to the fuel reservoirs, they can direct fuel to a number of diverse areas, including the P&B Valdez. New weapon research and insights into new polymeric combat armor, with enhanced heat and penetration resistance, look like promising additions to the Shi armament. Particularly when viewed in context with their construction capabilities, it is forecast that, with vertebrate schematics, a prototype could be manufactured in a year. In an additional year, mass vertebrate production would be viable. Despite the wasteland lacking a proper jet antidote, the Shi has developed a similar endorphin block which is as effective as regular jet antidote, which can be occasionally available for sale. As you can see, the Shi is the same, if not better, than the Institute when it comes to technology level. So I can definitely see the Shi being the main faction. Back to ncr_citizen's post, he says that the second faction will be the NCR. They will be there because they pretty much control all territory surrounding the San Francisco Bay Area, and will, just like in New Vegas, will be looking to satiate their never-ending lust for annexation of cities. With the annexation of San Francisco, the NCR would finally be able to truly call themselves a California Republic because they will be bringing the last of the pre-war California's territory under their flag. The third faction will be the West Coast Brotherhood of Steel. While barely having a presence in Fallout 2 San Francisco, they were still present in the game and had a bunker there staffed by one man, Matthew. Their interest in the city will be nearly identical to the reasons the East Coast Brotherhood showed up in the Commonwealth. The Shi will be experimenting with technology, the Brotherhood will consider an affront to humanity and will single them out for destruction. All three of these factions will be in a three-way war just like the Institute, Brotherhood of Steel, and Railroad found themselves in Fallout 4. Both NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel will be looking to destroy the Shi, and at the same time the NCR and Brotherhood of Steel are still at war with each other, in a war that has been ongoing since 2242, when the Enclave was defeated and fled the West Coast. The fourth faction, the one he is least sure about, could be the Hubologists. They are a whack job cult and spoof of Scientologists, but they are main enemies of the Shi in Fallout 2, constantly trying to steal the Shi technology to further themselves and get into space. And their relationship with the Shi is very similar to the relationship the Railroad has with the Institute in Fallout 4. If not the Hubologists, the fourth faction will be some new and unheard of native sovereignty group that just wants independence for San Francisco, much like the Minutemen were new and unheard of, and just want safe and free Commonwealth. So he thinks Fallout 5 is going to be San Francisco. To be honest, I don't really care where Fallout 5 is located, as long as, you know, I don't really think Bethesda should make it. I think they should just let Obsidian make it or something. But regardless, we have a ways to go. Don't expect it to come out anytime soon. And if it does come out soon, then it's probably going to be really shit, because that is way too soon to come out. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to read this for yourself, go ahead and click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Fatal Crawls are out. Peace. I'm going up, 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 up.